for some reason, I don't know if you've experienced this. Nigerians don't really rate or understand what interior design is. What am I adding to what I have? What am I putting into my home that just gives me that, I just want to sit here, or I just want to be in this space.
Bathtub or walk-in shower?
Walk-in shower.
Hello, welcome to the first episode of Design Diaries with LSA Home, where we spotlight interior designers in Nigeria. In each episode, we'll dive into the inspiration behind their designs, how they blend culture, functionality, and style, and how they create spaces that feel like home. I'm Lolade.
And I am Sheon, popularly known as Otumba Sean of Lagos. Join us as we uncover stories, tips, and styles of Nigeria's finest interior designers. And on this episode, we are thrilled to have the incredibly talented, beautiful, ageless Karen Koshoni of Urban Living.
What an introduction, but thank you for that.
No, but nothing there is a lie. Everything is true.
I have to say a big thank you to that.
Thank you for honoring our invitation, and
thank you
so
for
we're glad to
inviting
have
me.
you here.
Thank you.
You are the founder of Urban Living, and I wanted to know what was going on in your mind when you chose the name Urban Living.
Urban Living.
How? Why?
And very interesting question. So Urban Living was started in the UK about 26 years ago. But to answer that question, I remember my husband at the time, Patrick, who I'm sure you know very well.
Yes. I know him.
I remember we were driving down Camden and we'd been cracking our brains. What name? We need a befitting name. And I just looked around Camden and I said, Urban. I just saw the whole town and I saw people moving, and really that's the target. Creating homes for people, creating live home, real homes that people will come in, not country home, not, my village home or my it was city home where we're all really living, working. So that's how the name Urban Living evolved and is what it is today.
And so that was in the UK.
That was in the UK.
And then you moved to Lagos,
we
Nigeria.
moved to Lagos. So we initially started off with supplying blinds and shutters.
Right.
That's what I used to do in the UK. Bringing in blinds for shutters from South Africa.
Right.
And then we thought,
Why
since
not
there's a
the
market here and we're trying to move back here, so we started, and Nigeria being Nigeria what it is. So I thought, okay, we'll come in with some accessories, and it just exploded.
Wow.
And I think at that time there were blinds, but not the way we were supplying blinds and
Right.
advising on blinds. We actually did train in blinds, studying rooms, studying windows. So I would say we were pretty experts at the blind business, not just, let's put a blind.
Right.
So and evolved into furniture. People will come into the store, can you make this? Can you supply this? And I always been a creative person from when I was very young. And Patrick, of course, everybody knows.
Absolutely creative. Absolutely.
So it was, we then dived into manufacturing, which I still hold and still do today. And that's Urban Living. Right. Now we're moving into transitioning into an experience center for people to just come and experience a home, how I envision how a home should be, not just come and buy.
Right.
So that's where we are now.
Interesting. So it's been like 20 something years?
Yes. So in Lagos, it is 22 years. We're going into
Wow.
22 years. In fact, I think it's 22 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Fantastic.
22 years.
That's amazing.
So a whole wealth of experience.
So you see, when I said ageless, that's what I mean. 22 years under her belt.
So how do you think the industry has evolved through these years?
Oh, we've come a long way. I have to give it to us in Nigeria. We have really embraced the home. We've really embraced style. You know, I remember when we started, it was very much about, my thing was, you find people look fantastic outside, dressed so nicely, and then you go to homes and you're like,
wondering,
what's happening?
There's a disconnect somewhere.
Yeah, so it was really a lot of coaching. But honestly, it took so long. It was COVID that really was.
Same for us, COVID.
COVID was the turning point where people, because we were forced to stay
at home. So you
and
needed...
I had time to really look around. And what am I doing in this house? I have to make my house more interesting, But I think even up to that, it was really, really encouraging people, the importance of just having a nice space. And it started with accessories, because that's what we really, really pushed out there, apart from the blinds, was the accessories, just having nice things that would make your home look nice. I think a lot of people just had the basic, put a chair, put a bed,
no styling
at all. But us Nigerians now, we'll take it to the next
level.
Once that clicked in, now everybody wants a nice home, So, I mean, we've really come a long way, let me put it that way. So I don't even know. I think our homes are even more stylish now than how we look out on the outside.
So people prioritize their
Oh,
homes
yes,
now.
yes.
I mean, I think...
And I'm sure you've experienced that.
I mean, same with us. COVID year was amazing. Like, people were home, then they realized my bed is uncomfortable. My towel, I've been using it for years, it's a mess, So we had that surge as well in sales. And I think generally the industry too has just expanded. There are more people in the same space as we are now. And that's because there's an increased awareness about, this sort of product. So I think it's a good thing. The home is like, should be priority at all times.
That's the center of, I would say, the core of one's being as well. Your expression of who you are, your comfort zone. It's a place where you think, where things are evolving when you step outside. I think everything really just starts in the mind, translates into your home, and then you take it out there. So,
absolutely
major importance.
Now I would like to speak to what you said about that disconnect between people outside and their homes. We experienced it when we started as well, and I think when we started, we were selling the bed sheet set for like 15,000, and you have to talk and talk and talk to get people to spend, to convince people to spend 15,000 on the bed. Though then 15,000 was a lot of money, but compared to what they spend on clothing and what other people see, you couldn't compare it. So it was a hard sell then, but now it's more acceptable. People want to spend money on the things that matter to them in their home. So the industry has really come a long way.
Yes, we really have. And it's good to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's get to know about your design style, because I know people have, different designers with their own style, their own approach, So what is it for you?
I think my style is, I would put it in 2 words: quiet luxury. Why do I say quiet luxury? I don't, I tend to work with neutral colors and then build up from there. But I think what my main focus in is the pieces that you put in your home. I don't like clutter. I don't like to see too many things. So I'd like to see things of value, things that will enhance. And I will happily spend £200-300 on a candle just because it looks beautiful, as opposed to buying £15 candles and have them all over. I always feel that you should have something substantial, even if it's an art piece and everything is pared down, but something that just speaks volume in your home, that just gives that edge, that bit of luxury. So I think that's what I try to give when I'm doing up homes or styling homes, just bring that little, or just even trying to get my clients to understand it's not about I have this. it's just about having that substantial piece, or pieces if you can afford it, that makes up the. So yeah, I would say neutral, quiet luxury.
Neutral, quiet luxury.
So
I
how
like
do
that.
you handle clients who don't sort of align with your design style?
Okay. So I think the thing for an interior designer is something that it's not about imposing my style. It's
Right.
really about understanding your style. Because I always thought you are going to live in your
the
house.
Yes.
I also try and get clients, oh, I liked some of the blah blah's house and I want mine to. I'm like, but what is your style? What do you like?
Like.
And sometimes even if you like something, because we all get inspiration from different
True,
places.
true,
So
true.
what in particular
Do you like about
did
that
you
house?
like about that house, and how can we incorporate this into your style? So it's really never about my style. It's really just your style and being able to project that the best way. So even if you're one that I like a lot of things, I like glam, I like I will still work with that.
Okay.
But try and project
it down.
Yeah, not even tone it down, but I'll project it in the right way,
Right.
the way it should be projected. Because
Okay.
there's so many different styles.
Right.
Mid-century, there's modern,
Yeah.
contemporary, it's classic. So
Absolutely.
even when we want to mix, let's mix it in the right way. Yeah.
So it's all about the interpretation now. So
Yes,
really,
yes.
any ideas can be put to life,
Yes.
but it's how you then interpret that idea that makes all the difference.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. That really is.
So what would you say is your one design tip, like one thing, your go-to that all the time just works for you when you're designing?
Lighting.
Oh,
I think we really underrate lighting in
I
our
wouldn't have
homes.
thought that.
Yeah.
Lighting gives and does everything. In the simplest of homes, in the grandest of homes, I find that when we're designing, I'm thinking the chandelier, the lamps, what lighting can we put in your bathroom? And my client doesn't even, oh, really? Oh, lamps.
Yeah.
You go into a house where they're building, they've not even considered where we put in the sockets to,
Yes.
plug the lamps in, I mean, it creates so many scenes in a home. So I think lighting really is even if I'm creating an entertainment unit, I'm thinking, how do we light this up in the evening? You're just sitting down and you have guests. Where can we position the lamps so we have that nice glow? Yeah. So
And I think that just changes the experience as well.
Just elevates it.
Totally.
Just elevates it.
So that would be a big advice that I would tell people to start to look into.
So I was going to ask about the challenges around sourcing items, especially considering when you started versus now. How easy has it become,
For me,
or hard, as the case may be?
Okay, so let me put it this way. I started in the UK,
Right.
which everything is, there's a process to everything. And so we started with trade shows and dealing with manufacturers and wholesalers. And that's the pattern that I've used consistently, apart from the fact that I manufacture. So it hasn't really changed for me. It's really just going to the shows. And I've also kind of taught this to a few up and coming designers. You have to be able to attend shows, and even if you can't attend, learn about them, find out who are, whether it's accessories, whether it's furniture, where can you purchase from. So I have to be honest, it hasn't really been difficult. In Nigeria, we've really grown. Before, there was literally, it was a struggle, and that's because a lot of people will come to my store to ask to buy because they wanted to sell, and I'm like, what? Really buy in my store? I'm selling at full price.
Exactly.
Right.
But I think it's more accessible now. There's
Right.
so many stores, and you even find some people doing wholesale here. So I think it's much easier. But I
Right.
tend to source
Directly from suppliers,
directly. Yes.
manufacturers.
Right.
Good.
So let's, 20 something years, I'm sure you've seen all kinds of clients, all kinds of. So let's hear some stories.
Oh my God.
Some outrageous requests you had.
Honestly, I mean, I've heard, I've seen, I've experienced everything that you can imagine. You know, with clients, I think what I've learned, I have to say this, is really creating some kind of boundaries, because I think clients, they forget themselves, especially in Nigeria. So the thing with Nigeria is that for some reason, I don't know if you've experienced this. Nigerians don't really rate or understand what interior design is. They understand what architecture is, come and design and build my house, but they don't really. I think we're just getting into the understanding of what interior design and really having someone come and design your home. So a lot of clients think they're doing you a favor. You know, they don't understand the concept of payment. They think, oh, so recently, I had a client who was really struggling with the renovation of her home. And okay, so I said, well, let me help. And I got her electrical fittings at wholesale price.
Okay.
Just didn't charge for it and just gave it to her. And she came back to me, oh, she needs some more of it, but that price, so please, can I still discount? And I'm like, I gave it to you at wholesale price. What other discount? And she was on and she got angry. I'm like, but what? So I had to show her the invoice directly from the suppliers. She grumbled and she paid. So they don't really get it. You know, they think that you're maybe trying to swindle them and stuff. But then what's the other thing we get? They always want more. Can't you just do more? Can't you just give me this? Can I have to pay for it? It's always a payment thing, honestly.
Right.
I think most of the time we have, it's a very emotional experience for the client. So tempers fly, patience. But honestly, for me, because I love it so much and I enjoy this, I understand what's going on. So it's not that nobody's really doing anything crazy that I can handle. I have good clients. For those that are listening to me, you're all great.
Good. Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to setting up a home, I know you talked about lighting earlier, but at the end of the day, the comfort aspect of it, what are those things that you also just infuse into the space to make it really comfortable?
So apart from the basics, which is your sofa and your armchairs, I would go. I mean, you have a beautiful setup here: cushions, throws, your accessories. So it's just really. I mean, for us, these are the basics. Then we have what your blinds, your window treatments, your walls. So it's really just what you apply. I love a nice wooden floor. I just feel that it gives a very, yes, thank you. It's long lasting. It already just brings texture. So if I was going to use one word, I would always say how texture is the word I would use. What am I adding to what I have? What am I putting into my home that just gives me that, I just want to sit here, or I just want to be in this space. So it can be your candles, throws, cushions, even your rugs on your floor. So it's just, I would say, take 3 elements that you're going to infuse that you really, really love. Blinds, rugs, plants, cushions,
So you just build that from there.
Okay.
You've done it all here anyway.
Right. Okay. So I have some this or that questions for you. I'll give you 2 options,
Okay.
and then you pick one.
Okay.
Well, I think you've already mentioned some, but I mean, let's just go through it. Okay. So, first one: minimal decor or layered textures?
Layered textures.
Okay. Right. Why layered textures?
Because I think it's building your home, and it's really just giving character and giving you the chance to express who you are. express your home. So that's why I would go for. But that's not to say that minimal doesn't work as well. Some people just do not want to see any kind of clutter.
Right. Okay. Bathtub or walk-in shower?
Walk-in shower.
So practical.
Open plan living or cozy nooks?
That's a hard one. I would say I love an open plan, but I think for Nigeria, cozy, big cozy.
Big cozy.
If we can put big cozy.
Right.
Yes, I'd say cozy.
Okay, we talked about, but let me ask: soft lighting or bright lighting?
I would do multiple, but I would lean towards soft.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So that comes in the layered.
Artificial plants or natural plants?
Natural plants.
Please.
Natural
Please.
Natural plants. Although, they are so realistic these days that you can.
Right.
The
True.
maintenance.
Yes,
like,
you can get away with it. But for me, apart from the fake orchid, I would do natural plants. But I'm not against fake.
Yeah.
Plants, but natural. Okay.
So final thoughts for us as we wrap this up.
What is my final thought on this? Well, let me first start with saying thank you for inviting me here. I've thoroughly enjoyed discussing interiors. So my final thought is I really hope that Nigerians will trust us interior designers a bit more. Relax. We're here to give you the best, and just to also know every job and every space that an interior designer has the chance to deliver speaks for them as well. So everyone wants to give the best of who they are, so it's really just encouraging clients to trust the process, and also for interior designers to, we're always learning. And I'm sure most professions, it's always learning. So we're always learning, evolving, keep on top of it. It's not about trend, but so many things always coming out. So we always need to know what's happening, what are the fabrics, what are the latest lighting. Before we didn't have strip lights,
Yes.
but now we're all using strip lights
Yeah.
in wardrobes, on the cabinet lighting.
Thank you so much. We've had such an amazing time chatting with you. Thank you. All right, guys, join us again for another episode of Design Diaries. We hope you've enjoyed watching this. Bye, guys.